Another fellow armchair Imagineers, Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And ladies and gentlemen, as we find ourselves on the cusp of Disney's big venture into the world of streaming, even courting a war in the process, we thought it'd be nice to stay up to date on the ever-growing catalog and rule on what's a must or a bust on Disney Plus. I do not do a good Chris Hemsworth. This is true. All right.
You did your best.
With us tonight, we have Butali on board. How you doing, Butali?
But I'm all good, guys. Long time.
Yeah, right on. Happy to have you, man. With What If, because it's been so many multi-dimensional stories, we've tried to get a new person on each week. So happy to have you on board for this one. All right. So Butali, I'm going to start with you. What have you been? How have you been feeling about What If so far, going into the last couple episodes, and then, more importantly, what do you think of Party Thor?
Okay. With the show so far, I've liked it. It was never like a show I was like super excited for, but seeing the episodes, it actually has been pretty cool. Even though there some episodes I like more than others, and with Party Thor, it's pretty fun. He's kind of, well, at least to me, he seems kind of similar to how he was in 4 before he got banished, and and with this episode, I'd say I'd put it's my fourth favorite, because the first is the Doctor Strange episode, then the murder, then the murder mystery, then the Killmonger episode, and the fourth is this one, and then the fifth is the T'Challa episode, the sixth is Captain Carter, and the last is the Zombies episode.
You're another one who ranks the zombies last.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We're all entitled to our opinions.
Before we go any further, Mutai, you think you could turn the Discord off?
Oh, okay.
Jacob is in the comments. Jacob Weil, aka I am an insomniac. She says, I like how this show, how this is a much needed lighter fare than previous episodes.
We've been killing a lot of people these last couple of
episodes. Yeah, and Jacob, you're kind of speaking my language. That's exactly why I really like this one. I think this is my third favorite. Second, my first favorite would probably be Zombies. Second favorite would probably be the murder mystery. This is a solid number 3 for me. I was really happy with this one. It's not the most plot heavy. It's not the most cataclysmic, like end of the world scenario that we've seen. But not every episode of What If needs to be that. And honestly, I never thought I'd see a Marvel Cinematic Universe take on the movie Project X. But here we are. Here we are. I don't know. I just thought the whole my mom's coming home, that was hysterical. That was a great subversion of that trope.
Yeah.
I mean, just all the Easter eggs. I mean, come on. It's like Howard the Duck. I have notes on Korg. Korg is doing something wildly inappropriate in this episode that I'll get into. Of course, Frost Giant Loki. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really feel like this episode is kind of it's good fan service. It's not that deep, but man, it was such fun to see. It's like we got Goldblum running around. It was so much fun just to see all.
Not just Goldblum, Goldblum with cake.
Yeah, oh God. Right.
Oh, and we saw Drax, and who else did we see? Nebula.
A ton of people. There was a lot to keep
Rocket,
track of.
Drax, it was like all the Ravagers. It's a lot.
All right, Dragon, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought this was a fun episode. I did think it took some big swings. I mean, both in the positive and maybe a little to its detriment. Let me put it this way. The folks out there who do not care for Thor Ragnarok, and there's a fair amount of people who don't, I think kind of leaned a little too heavy into the comedy for its detriment as well. There ain't Ragnarok haters out there. They're sure not to like this one. I can say that.
Can I say one thing? I wonder. Well, I guess I think with Ragnarok, it's more that it's Ragnarok. It should be serious, but it's comedic. I wonder with this one, because from the get go, it's pretty comedic. Maybe they won't hate it as much. Maybe I don't know.
I'd like to think. I think people know what they're getting and going on.
Yeah,
This one.
exactly.
Ragnarok is like the end of days story, so that's when we're like, yeah, I get where people are coming from on Ragnarok. I always come to
I
Ragnarok.
have that
where,
issue with Ragnarok myself. I just don't care because it's such a good movie, anyways.
Well, where I land on Ragnarok is that I think they struck a balance. I wish it was a little bit more even, but I think both sides of the drama and the comedy are represented, maybe not as equally as they should be, but I can walk away that I got a little bit of both, so I'm happy with it. That's just me. Anyway, back to this. So I'd yeah, I mean, I'd argue that Thor has always had a rambunctious side, and without Loki, there is a vacuum to be
This
filled.
pretty much feels like
exactly.
This pretty much feels like what if Thor never got banished in the first movie, because it's like he does pretty much act like he was acting in the first like 10 minutes of the first movie.
Yeah. There's basically every time we call back to Thor's childhood at the top of that movie, it's kind of like that. But again, no Loki to really get in deep trouble. It's like Thor was kind of like he could have been a Loki. You kind of got that feel. He could have been rambunctious, but not full on trickster. But yeah. There's no one to really kind of like absorb the brunt of that and become like the trickster black sheep, as it were. So it's all going to
Sorry, you're still talking or?
Well, no, that thing said about there.
Okay. So I just wanted to add. I also wanted to add. Also, I don't think Avengers wouldn't happen because Loki wasn't adopted because Loki works with Thanos. So since that doesn't happen, Avengers doesn't happen, and the Avengers don't form.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and Tony doesn't get his PTSD, which leads him to make Ultron. So Age of Ultron also doesn't happen.
Yep, so that doesn't.
So much doesn't happen actually because of that.
Although another Age of Ultron is upon us, supposedly.
Oh, I cannot wait to talk about that. But we will get there. Let's build. Right. Okay, so we kind of spoke a little bit of the setting, so I guess we should kind of transition there. So we are pretty much set in the first Thor movie. During the Midgard encounter, only it goes a lot differently because Loki was not adopted in this case. No evil ploy for Odin's throne. No double cross. As you said, the dominoes don't fall. The roads that lead to Thanos and some misadventures with Owen Wilson. None of that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah, of course, Frigga is going to celebrate the solstice in the Odin sleep with her girlfriends, which means no adult supervision in Asgard.
God.
So party Thor over here. Yeah. So anyway, I do call BS on one element of the episode. There are two. Basically, here's what I on the episode. Oh, by the way, before we go further, Tiki, do we? I don't believe we mentioned the poll.
Well, yeah, guys, the poll, we're trying to figure it out. So just so you guys know, we're probably not going to give a final ranking until all the episodes are done with. But we're trying to figure out what to do as far as like, episodes where 20 people voted in the poll versus episodes where like less than 10 people voted in the poll. So, that guy says he's not a fan of the episode, which is fine. It's interesting because I do feel like the discourse for this show kind of comes down to like, I feel like there's definitely like, I've seen more than Mutali and Connor who have zombies at the bottom of their list, for example. And I just feel like people, I don't know, I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but I feel like the people who are ranking these types of episodes lower are the people that like want every episode to be as cataclysmic as the Doctor Strange episode, or not every episode, but like those are the
to some degree. Yeah, I guess with zombies, I think it's just more. I guess because it's like the tone is inconsistent. Because sometimes it's funny, then it gets really dark. I think that's one of the issue. But what you're saying is also kind of true. But I'm okay. But I don't really mind I don't need every episode to be dark. It just
I'm not talking about just you, Mutali. I'm just kind of
I know. But
discourse going on with this show.
Yeah, I mean,
others. Yeah, I would agree with that. That some people do like want them to all be dark,
right.
Each episode.
I mean, the barometer for me has always been, is the what if. I always start with like the what if. Is the what if kind of good and does it grab you enough and does it track? Does the dominoes fall?
This I feel like the what if is solid. I just think that my nitpick with the what if is that, like, oh my god, like there's so many characters that come here. Like, we almost get a little too character crazy.
We
with,
do
like,
get a little snowblind with the Marvel Cosmic kind of side
just
of
as far
things.
as like who would be like in this continuity at this time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think technically they all could be there, but if you really think about it, it's like, did we really want them there at that time, though?
Right,
It's
right.
like, because I mean, Drax, this is before Drax got imprisoned, I guess. So, you know, there's that, and there's a whole.
And also, since would Drax really be that jokey? Wouldn't he be just focused on avenging?
Well, his family might be alive at that point. It's unclear.
Oh, wait.
I don't know when. I don't know when Ronan.
But you see that right there, what you just said, like that. I don't know. Like, I feel like that is kind of like a a flaw of the of the what if this episode, is that we can kind of poke holes and like, wait a minute, what is Drax doing there? Are his wife and kids still alive? What is he doing?
Well, it's the fact that it leads to a little too many open-ended questions versus where everything just kind of lines up and you can fill in the blanks, which is for me.
But
what
I
has
mean,
been
personally, and like, I'm sorry, guys. I know everyone loves the Doctor Strange episode. I'm glad that Dragon and I are kind of simpatico on this. I thought the what if on the Doctor Strange episode was the weakest one of all.
Exactly, which is what baffles me about all the love going to this Doctor Strange episode. Because yes, the back half is great.
Dragon. It's like easily their favorite.
And look, the back I think people love it because the ending's awesome, and it is. That back half and that ending is amazing. But the what if stinks, in my opinion.
You have the right to your opinion, Dragon. I'll say that.
That's what I'm saying. It's just the what if just doesn't really track, but everything anyway. So the same movie happens. Sorry.
Wait, can I say one BS thing about this episode? I don't know if it's just me or why is Loki like a big frost giant? Because wasn't it before where it's like he was weak for a frost giant, and that's why he's small? So why would he be big?
Well, we don't know that he was. Look, Mobius always just kind of said he was the ice runt. I don't necessarily know if that was predicated on anything. All we could assume is that, well, when he touched the casket of the Winters in Thor, he was the same size, but I don't know. I think it's more of like a long. If I were to headcanon, I'd say it's a long-term thing of like, well, he's been in Loki form for so long. I mean, he'd have to be like, if from birth he was never found by the Asgardians, he would have grown up to be a big frost giant like the rest of them. That's my guess, but you know.
Okay.
I would say I think that one's it's
not a big deal. It's just the thing I just noticed. Like I didn't know if it was just.
No, you're not wrong. That's a good point though. I'm seeing, but yeah, I don't know how much of that's just Mobius just kind of taking a dig at like, look at how weaselly he looks now. It must have been like an ice runt if he were a frost giant. But we don't.
That guy says apparently Thor not having Loki as a brother makes every alien a party. That guy, honestly, yeah, you're totally legit. You're totally legit. And also that guy says he liked the zombie one. So, yeah, my bad, that guy. I'm honestly kind of like throwing too many generalizations out here about people's opinions. But yeah, that guy. Look, at the end of the day, you're kind of right about the what if not making a ton of sense. I just think this is a ton of fun. You know. This to me is like the one time this season where it's like, yeah, there are some plot holes with the what if, but I'm just having such a good time with all these cameos. I mean, Howard the Duck marries Darcy, for God's sake.
I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
And I go like a classy way.
I like it's like unlike the T'Challa episode where it looked like Howard the Duck was going to be like a supporting character in the episode, and then he just wasn't. He was just like, oh, happy hour, never mind.
Just like that we got so much Howard the Duck this season.
We got so much Howard the Duck in this episode. Like, I like how it's like we go from like, from Darcy and Howard like being kind of like the the unassuming blind dates into them getting hitched in Vegas, and then finally like, oh God, what do you want, Howard?
Just
Howard being the loser husband.
I just love it was like a classy version of the uncomfortable humor in the Howard the Duck movie.
Right.
That's what I really liked about it. Like, okay, we legitimize it. Oh my God, yet again, I tip my hat the MCU for legitimizing Howard the Duck, and this what if going even further with it. They've really done a great job in legitimizing Howard the Duck.
But God, I want that Disney Plus show.
Yeah, we should get that show.
Well, it was in development on Hulu, so we'll see if maybe it finds.
Fuck Hulu. If it's Hulu, then it might not be directly connected to the MCU.
Right.
That's possible.
Well, Well, I'm saying it's not going to be. I'm saying it was in development on Hulu. I'm saying
Right,
now
right.
that they've acquired everything, perhaps they would take, hey, we were working on this. Let's do it now.
So let's see. John Kelling says maybe Thor makes the universe more chilled out place by throwing interstellar parties. I mean, I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah, well,
You know,
again, they don't have to worry about Thanos now, so.
right. Also, I am an insomniac says Rocket was asleep in a sink too.
Yeah.
Which leads me to,
He's a rabbit in a sink.
To me, the most adult joke maybe in all of the MCU, and I think this joke probably flew over y'all's heads because it is definitely part of like California rave culture. Do y'all know what
Pinky,
Korg,
right?
what Korg with the pacifier represents?
Just like a nightclub?
Well, yes, but like specifically, what is the function of the pacifier?
To quail crying infants?
The function of the pacifier in rave culture is to make sure you don't bite your tongue when you're tripping on drugs.
Oh.
So Korg was tripping on some drugs.
You know, that's
like,
possible.
As soon as I saw that pacifier, I was like, oh dear. Oh, they're going there.
I had no idea that's what the pacifier meant. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I just thought it was like a weird rave thing. I just thought
apparently I'm the only one who's actually been to a rave in California.
Yeah.
So
most of my rave experience is
cool.
Batman Beyond.
I've been to approximately one rave, and it was with an ex-girlfriend from forever ago who dragged me to it. But yes, I during that rave I did in fact learn what pacifiers were for.
See, when I think rave, and particularly the pacifier thing, I think of two things. Okay, in raves in general, it's Batman Beyond because they always went to the rave. With the pacifier thing, I go to something you're going to appreciate, Tiki, the very Muppet Christmas movie where they had the Muppet Theater turned into a nightclub in which you had Sam Eagle with the pacifier.
Oh my god!
With
maybe Sam was tripping too.
Well, I mean, now apparently that's the case. I'd like to think Korg's just doing it to fit in, but that's just me, apparently.
But John Kelling says Korg's an alien, though. He probably just saw humans doing it and thought it was just a style.
You know what, John Kelling? That is probably most likely what it is. You're right, but I don't know. Just knowing what I know about California rave culture, the image still caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Plot twist: Korg never actually saw vampires. He was just super high.
Oh yeah, in Ragnarok when he's telling me you can kill 3 vampires.
Oh god.
Well, you know, it'd be hilarious if Korg bumped in the Blade. and no one believed him. No one believed him because they saw that pacifier. It's like, oh, you did not see a vampire. He did. He looked just like Cottonmouth from Harlem. You didn't, you know.
He looks like Cottonmouth from Harlem.
Okay. That guy says, "I'm saying it. We need a Howard the Duck show or movie." Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, a Disney Plus series, an animated Howard the Duck series would be great.
Yeah.
And then that guy is saying, "Okay, even I can't deny the beauty that is Howard the Duck."
Yeah.
Yeah. Much love for Howard the Duck, dude. Much love for Howard the Duck.
I opened Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Strange goes to Howard's universe from the Howard the Duck movie.
That'd be great.
That would be great.
Okay, so let's talk about a big part of the episode that I don't think we've covered yet. Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I genuinely think this is probably the best use of Captain Marvel so far in the MCU.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
I have trouble buying that we call her for this, but it was good to see her. I like seeing her.
I had that either.
Yeah, that's
really
true.
This is so. Okay,
I feel like it's another kind of like almost like a gag. It's like, you know, she's like the cleanup squad that we have to call after the party.
Okay, well, few things. So first off, I do like the self-aware vibe of like Captain Marvel's, kind of popularity being in jeopardy until the Monica Rambeau kind of thing showed up, until we're doing this whole Miss Marvel show, which hopefully will.
Yeah, it's like they are directly calling Brie Larson a party pooper. Right?
That's what I'm saying. I think that's very. And obviously, they did not get Brie Larson. And also, I think it's kind of earned to like, hey, we didn't get Brie Larson to do the voice. So, yeah, let's absolutely call her party pooper. Let's do it.
Right.
It was weird. They didn't get her though. That was really weird. Like,
they got so many other people though.
Yeah, that was weird.
All right. I am Insomniac says, to be fair, it was Maria Hill that made that call. And on that note, it was nice to see Maria Hill again in action mode. Nice.
So let me walk you through my 2 issues with the episode. This ties into all those. My 2 issues are, one, I think Shield's. I'm iffy on Shield's response. It makes sense, but I think it's still a lot of overreactions there. One, yes, it is great to see Maria Hill be in charge and do stuff like she traditionally does. That's all great and fun and dandy. But take she's. No one's been hurt so far. I mean, Nick Fury. I mean, look, we took out Fury with a gag, and it was funny. And that's to me is like the big tonal issue of the episode. Or, hey, Nick Fury very logically says, "Hey, knock off the party," and then Korg accidentally takes him out because the ball cannons.
Okay,
that's funny.
Don't know. It was a little dark, but I thought that was fun. Like, I honestly thought that was a genuine reason why Shield would get involved. Even though it's dark, it's because, like, these guys killed Fury. God damn!
No, he's alive, Tiki. He's just not. He's not awake yet. He's in that's the thing. They didn't kill him.
Okay, but still, it's like they fucked with Fury.
So that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, the gag's fun, but just to lead to genuine stakes of, okay, that's it. Now we gotta wrap up this way. I don't know. It still seems to be a stretch, and then we go even further with it. Like, we're about to nuke Thor and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's true. I was like, really?
And what doesn't help is that Captain Marvel could be far more diplomatic in this situation. Very far from diplomatic. She gave him a warning punch.
I mean, to be fair, the movies have never established her character as anything of diplomatic. You know,
that's what I'm saying, though. It just feels like where's the diplomacy?
Well, the first movie, she didn't know who she was, and then
not to mention Thor is a bro, so it's like she is not giving Thor any.
But it's not like he threw the first punch, though. That's what I'm saying. It's
but
like
he's a man, Dragon.
So that's
all right. You know what? I'm gonna get off of this train before it goes.
Look, to be fair, again on the bright side of Captain Marvel, I do want to highlight those. That again, her banter was a lot better. We were having fun with her more, like the whole Darcy thing. Darcy being a big fan and that sort of stuff. And
I still find it really funny how at the end of Shang-Chi, Banner's just like, yeah, I don't have her number.
Yeah, she always says that, but we don't have her number. It's only a pager. It's like a 90s pager. That's how we do it. But that's the thing. I will say this. I mean, the Captain Marvel's appearance here does instill hope that we get better with Captain Marvel in the future. I mean, Endgame was a big win for her. I felt. I think she did back half Endgame. She did okay. This is an actual place to start with this character, and then we've the appearances here, and of course with kind of the supporting Captain Marvel characters like Monica Rambeau and such. I mean, it's seemed to be on the upswing. Again, I love how in the end, she helps Thor out, so that was nice. That's what I'm saying. So that wasn't bad. Okay, here's the other full.
Hold on. I'm gonna go through some comments here. John Kelling says a lot of the way Thor was treating Carol is a huge tongue-in-cheek reference to a response Captain Marvel in general via the audience. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the party pooper thing.
Which is fun, it's warranted. She brought a lot of that on herself in the marketing. So.
That guy says, Shield in regular timeline. We can't call Captain Marvel until it's absolutely necessary. Shield in this timeline. Oh my God, an alien hunk is throwing a party, freaking Captain Marvel.
This is what I'm saying. The Shield's response is a little questionable.
Fair. That's totally fair.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, it evens out at the end of the day. Just getting there is really bumpy.
And then John Kelling says, on the other hand, Thor did knock over our weird pile of rocks. And I will admit, I did kind of geek out at the battle at Stonehenge. That was a great location.
Also, a Thor a Thor the Dark World reference.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's see. That guy says.
You remember that? Wow.
Yeah, remember Selvig was doing this thing at Stonehenge. Yeah,
no, I remember
another portal.
Because I haven't seen Dark World in years, and
not many have.
That. Like I remember the first 4, but not Dark World.
Yeah, you can blame Malky for that.
The worst one. I really don't. Mm-hmm. I would rather.
Watch we did speak of Malky. We didn't see any. What were the elves? Yeah, we didn't see the. What were the elves called again? Hello?
Yep. Yes.
So, no, I was saying because speaking of Malek, if we didn't see the the elves.
Dark elves. Yeah, we did not see the dark elves here. Not the partying sort, I don't think.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. That's true.
Right. So here's the other thing that bugged me. Okay, Heimdall. I call utter BS on the Heimdall thing this episode, right? Heimdall is watching.
He would absolutely nip this shit in the bud the second it started.
I don't care if Midgard is a backwater realm or not. I don't care. That's a buy. That's the biggest buy in the episode. You mean this? Okay, we literally had a gag where Frigga reminded him Heimdall sees everything. Okay, there's no wiggle room with everything. Okay, everything means everything. Last I checked.
Yeah.
So that's another buy that Heimdall would be completely. You'd have to loop. I wish Thor's lied to Heimdall or something, spun it so I could buy that. I don't know. It's a whole. Didn't like that.
So I think at the end of the day, what we're coming down on the episode is that there's definitely some major logic problems, but it's a whole lot of fun, and the fun I feel like kind of like subverts the logic in a lot of ways. At least that's
you guys actually making me think about some stuff that I did before. I was like, just fun episode, and then listening, I was like, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense, and that doesn't make sense.
So I love the Vegas setting, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that.
The Vegas setting was great. Yeah.
It's the party capital, also New Mexico adjacent. It's kind of in that, it's kind of in that belt, if you will. So yeah, it felt really, again, it was like, it also kind of bridges us from where the Thor movie would start to, where we're kind of, getting off track. But speaking of which, I really want to talk about Jane and Thor. First of all, I'm very happy we got Natalie Portman back. I was going to raise such a hissy fit if she didn't come back. Because you mean to tell me you've been AWOL for all these movies. You're going to come back and play Lady Thor. Yeah. And you're not even going to, going to be in this?
Right.
Really? This is
apparently the whole Lady Thor thing, it was supposed to be a what if, but because of that, they scrapped it.
Well, fun fact: a Lady Thor started in What If. That was early in the first run. That's why we have Jane Foster Thor as an idea. Even it was basically a What If that got actualized over the years.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you though, I was so charmed by these two crazy kids. They're so darn cute together.
I've never had a problem with their relationship. If I'm being totally honest with you guys. Like in the Dark World, she kind of sucks, but that's just because she gets back to the future, where it's like, she goes on the trip and she shouldn't even really be there,
She's the MacGuffin. She's like,
right. Whereas I felt in the first movie, I genuinely did really buy their chemistry.
Yeah, and that's been the problem with Jane Foster.
And then she's just been unceremoniously written out of every other movie.
Which is just embarrassing to me, really, because that's the thing. Breaking them up makes it feel so harsh that they've been broken up. Because look at how this episode reminded me how wonderful they could be together, man. It was just really they got the matching tattoos, science and magic. With the hammer.
That was sweet.
It's adorable. It brought me back to the charm of the first Thor movie with all the Kenneth Branagh relationship charm. I loved it.
Maybe they'll get together in Love and Thunder.
I would love it if that were the case, but I don't know. It seems like a long shot, but fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I think the damage has kind of been done on that route, but who knows? Of course, Jane tells on Thor's mommy. Yep.
And then like I said, guys, the last 5 minutes or so of this episode with just the scramble to clean things up, it's just it's a perfect kind of subversion of the whole the party movie trope.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Very Ferris Bueller. We got to clean things up. We're kind of cat in the hat, if you will. We got to clean things up before Mom gets back. Speaking of which, Loki, the friendly frost giant. Again, I love the design. I love how we gave him the ice kind of horns. I thought that was that was great. And again, just the great logical payoff of, not being in Thor's shadow, he actually has a healthy relationship with Thor. But when the chips are down, he will absolutely abandon Thor because there's no relationship there. There's no we're friends, but brothers from another mother. But we're not. I don't know anything to you. I'm not. You can't guilt me into staying, which kind of screw you to Thor in the end. I love the Make-A-Wish gag, by the way. It was so ridiculous, so fun. Make a wish. He's like, I'm okay. I got it. Well, what is it? I can't tell you. That'll ruin the magic. That's cute. All right, let's see. Okay, well, unless you guys have anything else, we have the big Ultron thing to talk about at the end.
Yeah, I think we've covered pretty much everything else.
Okay, my God. I'm sorry, Metalli. What is?
No, I was going to say the Ultron thing. I didn't see that coming. Like,
yeah,
just,
the Watcher didn't either.
How genuinely thrown off the Watcher was
and that's a huge event. Moment. If he doesn't see something coming, that's really huge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you thought him trying to warn Doctor Strange was something, this is like a whole nother ball game.
And Ultron has the Infinity Stones, which is curious how he got those.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy cliffhanger. And
I swear to you guys, I had at a very serendipitous moment this day when this episode came out. I walked by this poster with the what if poster. It's like the circular thing with all of them in it for all the episodes, and I kind of looked. I assumed Ultron from a distance, and I looked up close. And if you look really close on that poster, little Vision head in the Ultron.
Oh my God! Nice.
Then when he showed up at the end here, it was like, oh my God, one just insanely,
and of
such
course,
an
we've
insanely
already seen like a pretty horrifying Vision villain so far this season. So
yes, so this, you know me, the big thing I was waiting for in WandaVision was Ultron. So doing something kind of akin to like bringing Ultron back in this way and giving him the Vision body and making the Ultron look like a suit of armor with all the Infinity Stones. He's got an arm. He's got a cape. It's like, oh my God, it's so. He's got all the Infinity Stones. This is going to be we're setting up our big crossover finale. It seems with this. That seems to be the impression.
I think we're going to get one more with Gamora, right? That's the plan, and then we're getting the multiverse Avengers.
Yes. Now here's what I wonder.
Yeah, Guardians of the Multiverse. That's what it's called.
Oh, cool. Did not know that. Anyway, here's the thing. So this next one with Gamora, I wonder if we're going to give an origin to how if we're gonna fit it in. Where this is where the Ultron Vision got the rest of the stones. Perhaps in the Gamora episode.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Well,
I'm not sure if they tie it together that much, but I like that theory. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
There's also supposed to be one where Tony's in Sakaar, from like Avengers when he goes for the wormhole. I think that was because it was supposed to be 10 episodes. I think that was moved to season 2.
Well, I didn't know that was the episode. You're right about that. There was originally 10 episodes, and then basically a number of things happened where there are some episodes that were pitched that were like, okay, this is too much like Guardians 3, and this one is like, okay, so this one is a little too. I think one was too similar to Doctor Strange. I'm not sure. I might be misremembering that one, but there were some episodes that did make the. Maybe there was a Spider-Man one as well. I'm not sure. Some of them just hit too on the money.
One was. Sorry, no, I think Spider-Man, I just remember they wanted to do like the Man Spider, I think, but then.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, they want to do the Man Spider was too dark. That's what the word.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
they were going to do like a Man Spider. One of those two.
Floating is okay.
Yeah, zombies. Fine. Yeah. Yeah, we can do a whole murder mystery and kill. We can literally blow up the Hulk.
The universe. That's perfectly fine.
We can't turn Spider-Man into Man Spider like we did in the 90s show for a spell, but what we can do is we can very graphically blow up the Hulk through Ant-Man tech, through pen tech. We can do that. That's not going to traumatize the kids at all. God. All right,
and we can have Killmonger brutally kill Tony Stark and Black Panther. That's fine.
Yeah, we can dismember him too and all that. Okay, let's see. John Kelling says, I wonder if the Mad Titan Gamora, which essentially is what the next one is the same episode as Iron Man on Sakaar, which again sounds like that one might have been like a deleted concept altogether, John. But I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I think we've pretty much. Yeah. Sorry.
So I just want to add that guy says, "Oh God, it's going to be an actual Age of Ultron instead of a few days of Ultron." That is true.
Yeah. Some less than marvelous marketing on that one.
So if you like the Age of Ultron comic, I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think it'll be more like that.
Sure.
All right. Okay, I think we've pretty much covered it all. Metalli, you have any other things you want to get out there?
No, not really. I think I got everything.
Let's thank the folks.
All right, so big thanks to I Am an Insomniac, That Guy, and John Kelling. You guys are all awesome. Thanks so much for joining us.
And Beowulf.
MB Wolf, yes, you're right. I'm sorry, just since you shouted him out, Dragon will read his rather offhand comment. I haven't gotten around to actually watching this, so I'm just going to point out that between this episode and the Loki series, there's a Loki for every kind of simp. Just ask Tumblr. All right. That's what you get when you shout out Beowulf, Dragon. I love you, Beowulf. I love you, Beowulf. But all right, so I Am Insomniac, Beowulf, John Kelling, and That Guy. You guys are all awesome. You guys all rock. All right, so without further ado, that'll do it for us this week as we holster our remotes till the next installment calls for the draw. Mano y mano, just plus, and us.
It's hammer time.
Hey, man, I'm tripping bulls, man. Things are flying on the ceiling, man. I can't see my face.
Where are you, Meek? I got a pacifier for you, too.
Oh, God.